Okay, time is a little bit after 5:30. If y'all are ready, we can go ahead and do our pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
Good evening. Okay, if everybody is ready, if we could go ahead and get started. Roll call.
Chairperson Davis,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ezell.
Here.
Commissioner Lance. Commissioner Sherrill,
Here.
Commissioner Souder.
Here.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from November 8th? If everyone is in agreement, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for November 8th.
Second.
Okay.
Vice Chairperson Ezell.
Yes.
Commissioner Lance.
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Souder,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. Do we have anyone from the community that would like to speak or have comments or questions? All right, well, awesome. So grateful everybody came out tonight. The first address that we have on our agenda is at 2115 Eldridge Road. Want to fill us in on what's going on there?
So I've received complaints on this property, and I've tried to issue citations through our administrative hearing to get the property into compliance, which I've failed to get satisfied service on. So since I'm not able to get satisfied service, obviously I'm here today. You've got some issues going on with it. So the front load-bearing wall is now caving in. You've got everything's exposed, like it's not secure. Your garage door is, I don't know if it's stuck, if it's broke. I haven't tried to touch it because it's not me. The front door is unlocked. The last time I was there, it was wide open, and I did try to shut it, and I tried to secure what I could to the garage because there's a door that you can go through as well. There's also some exposed wires in the garage. I'm not sure if they're live or not. I did not touch them, but it's a safety concern for me just because of vagrants being in and out, which is what the complaints have been. And then you've got trash and debris all throughout the property, in the garage, in the house, outside, on the side of it. So basically, in my opinion, it just poses a threat to the community due to it being open and unsecured, and just for a lack of negligence over the years to the property.
Can't find the owner.
I've sent who I know to be the owner of record on file. I've sent them everything, certified, regular mail, nothing.
What did come back? Unclaimed?
This one, I didn't even get an envelope back from them for the 215. Or 2115. But it says that it's Stacy and Luke Edens out of 1715 Springview Lane, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
So we got the envelope back from the,
I thought I did, but to my knowledge.
when was it served or sent out?
I sent it on November 30th.
Yeah.
I don't recall, is the property posted? Did you post anything at the property itself?
No, I didn't post anything due to this just being like the kind of show cause first appearance. I haven't posted or done anything with it. I took pictures, and like I said, I tried to secure as much as I could, but there's really no securing that.
I was by there today. You are right, and I'm not sure about the front wall. There's as many breaks as I've seen in it. I'm not sure that the garage is not holding up.
That's my
concrete,
fear,
so
yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we condemn it and board it up, secure it, have one more effort to try to get these two owners to come see us next meeting. January 10th meeting.
Second the motion.
Okay, motion and second.
Vice Chairperson Ezell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lance,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Souder,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. Okay.
The next meeting on the 10th,
Yes, sir.
January 10th.
The next item is 4802 Madonna Avenue. Is anyone here from that address? Okay, Ms. Torrey, you want to tell us about Madonna?
This one's a little bit kind of unique. It's not something that I've ever dealt with before. So I've received several complaints on this property just from the neighbors that are around. And we have to send our street department out religiously to have the grass maintained. So the property owner that's on record, from what I've heard from neighbors, is he's been deceased for some time. But the neighbors that live next door to this house have now since then moved, but before were paying the property taxes on this house. I don't know why. I don't know like the whole story behind it, but that's what I was told. And I actually did talk to them and they did confirm that, but then like I said, they've since then moved. And now there is back
Left or
taxes.
right?
If you're looking at the house to the left, they're not there anymore.
Whoever's there was watching me today, wise of it.
Yeah. The property is vacant and it's unmaintained. I don't know if y'all saw the backyard, which, I mean, you saw my pictures, but, and then just due to the lack of maintenance, I don't know what the interior looks like. I know it is secure. It has been boarded up before. I don't know if it was necessarily by the city or if it was the neighbors next door. Not sure, but I know it is boarded, so nobody can get in. But you can tell from the exterior, especially in the backyard, just different spots of the house where it's starting to deteriorate. And again, I'm unsure of the inside, but if the outside looks as bad as I think it does, then I can only imagine the inside, just due to water damage, honestly, is what it looks like.
It looks like the roof is about gone too.
Yeah.
I walked around and looked at it, so there's no telling what the inside looks like.
State is the property tax down. Has it been paid?
I think it's either 1 or 2 years behind, I think. I remember going back to
Know
look
how long the city's been maintaining the yard?
for 2 years now, so I've been here, yeah.
And the neighbors are the ones who told you the owner, Ryan Raymond, was deceased? I wonder if there's any next of kin, if it's being through probate or anything.
Looks like property taxes for 2022 and 2023 have not been paid. Of course, 2023 is not due yet, but they're a year behind. And that was always been owned by this Ryan Raymond.
Okay. At what point will it go, will the county put it up for auction?
4 years, so it's still a ways away. Well, you can do a lien and bring the sale of the lien to force the enforcement of it, but generally what we do is when we do cleanups, we put our own lien and then it comes upon the next billing cycle.
I'm sure we've got 2 years worth of grass cutting liens.
I could look, probably. There's. So any liens from 2022, 2023.
So when we maintain that property,
Oh, here it is, yeah, there's,
okay,
a $2,200 lien was filed, sometime before the billing cycle. The billing cycle went out 9/21 this year, and at that point, there was a $2,200 lien, which would have been all those mowing jobs, so. So this roof is caving in pretty bad.
You can tell that it's been neglected and it's probably time for a replacement. I couldn't tell you without really getting up to see if it's fallen in necessarily, but you can tell from the windows on the exterior, especially in the backyard, you've got a lot of rotted wood. and the siding is now starting to fall off, which I know they put, you know, the wraps and stuff up, but this is an older house. So I don't know how suitable it is to not have water encroaching in it, and if the walls look as bad as, you know, the outside,
The asbestos siding will hold up, seems like forever,
yeah.
but
Let's believe this Mr. Raymond passed.
My knowledge.
Gosh, record owner as far back as '99, he's from more line records. Has anybody done an obituary search for him?
I think I tried, but I couldn't find anything on him.
look on social media.
There's a Raymond Ryan, passed away May 19, 2014 in East Ridge, Tennessee.
That might be, yeah. That sounds about right. I think that's what they said, either 2014 or 2015 is what I was told.
So Ryan is the last name, Raymond is his first name.
It does look like it's Raymond.
Yeah.
Raymond Ryan. Well, hang on just a second, let's see if we find what we could try to do. I mean, legally, we're required to send notices to the last known address, and that's what we understand to be the last known address. Now, with respect to this gentleman, you know, if you can find in the obituary, I mean, we sort of go a little bit beyond, but we found just something on the obituary from a survivor. Try to find an address for them. I think we would have more than satisfied if we posted together with trying to, I'm navigating a website, dignitymemorial.com is some website. If we found the obituary, maybe we find somebody. But, I mean, the recommendation would be, we think the house is in pretty dilapidated condition.
Exterior, it definitely needs to be cleaned up, yes. It's bad, property conditions, but exterior, you've got issues, but I need to see the inside to really distinguish how bad it truly is.
If I understand it, Commissioner Ezell has indicated that he's kind of been able to see the roof look pretty bad, water deterioration. Do we have any knowledge of any break-ins or
Not since they secured it, so not the, if you're looking at the house, not the neighbor to the left, but one more down. She's the one who originally called me about this house. She told me that for a while they were having, you know, break-ins, but then they had it boarded up and it's kind of calmed down. But people tend to go over there. I haven't saw signs of break-ins. I mean, the boards have been the same since I've been dealing with the property that are on the doors. But I think it's just honestly lack of maintenance, so. Secured wise, it's fine for now. That's a great question.
Why don't we just condemn it, make sure it's boarded up properly, and try to find somebody home?
I think that's a good action plan. Is there, excuse me, is there exterior needs, to be addressed?
The backyard needs to be mowed. Like, if anything we do at all, we need to maintain the backyard. Just due to how high it is, and then we can deal with the house once we figure out where to go.
Excuse me.
I wonder if there's a forwarding address.
It didn't come back on, I got the envelope back on this one. I also sent it, regular mail as well, just to try to. Just told me vacant with a finger and came back.
Okay.
Assessor's office has the property value, the building at about 78,000, land at 118,000. I look at that just for, you know, the city's already got a $2,800 or $2,200 lien. But, you know, it'll get paid back on a sale, or if somebody paid, yeah, $2,200 municipal lien that was filed. I think Commissioner Ezell, if we can board it up, secure it properly, and we maintain it, we get a lien on there, and in the meantime, we try to locate, this obituary, if I can get it figured out. It looks like it happened at the Chattanooga Funeral Home, May 19th of 2014. Somebody's been paying the taxes, for a while at least. and maybe we can find a survivor, do a Facebook search, and then from there, we can always, if the idea is we want to demolish it, then I would suggest we do that and do a publication and go that route.
You want me to do like a post for cleanup for the grass, or are we just gonna put it in this order, or?
I think if the motion here is to condemn it, have it boarded up, better, secure, and then to undertake maintenance, we do a posting, immediately, the property's been condemned, they need to contact the city. There's also a notice of post for cleanup that's gonna occur, and what's our date, 10 days? What do we have to get, 10 days? We'll give them the 10 days, and then from there, we'll take the self-help efforts to clean up the backyard and whatever needs to be remedied to bring at least the exterior into compliance. We'll get a lien on that, and then as it relates to the interior, let's hope we find somebody. If we don't, we can get access in, we can do it through an administrative warrant if we needed to, but this body has we got the authority to demolish it if you find that based upon what your conditions are, even on the exterior. We don't know what's inside, but if the roof is leaking like Mr. Ezell says.
That last picture, was that you taking a picture through the garage door? Is that what
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just trying to see if there was any signs of like from people, like if there is people here.
Or squatters.
Yeah, and there is stuff in here in this house. When Cameron was still with us, he told me that he had to deal with this house a lot too, and the neighbors that were paying the taxes on it, they were using it as a hangout, their kids were or something. So I think a lot of this is their stuff they've just left behind, but it's also probably a mixture of squatters before they had it boarded up.
My brain automatically went to someone cared enough to pay the taxes since 2014. So someone should care enough about this property. But if it was the neighbor paying it, just so they have a extra space because they knew there was no one, kind of changes the temperature of the water a little bit, Okay. So do we have a motion?
Move that the property be condemned, secured, and posted as condemned. At that point, attempts to find the family.
Motion-
Second her motion.
Motion and a second.
Vice Chairperson Ezell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lance,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Souter, Chairperson Davis.
Yes. Okay.
You guys are gonna bring that back on January 10th.
Yes.
Okay.
I apologize, yes.
It's okay. I just want to double check.
Bring it back January 10th to review new findings. Okay, old business. Do we have anyone here from 3714 Sullivan Avenue? Okay. Hello. Hey, guys. Okay, so just to recap, this is property that had some debris. We got that cleaned up and we were building a garage. And last we were here, we were waiting on that roof
Right.
on the
I
garage.
had
Where are
made
we now?
Last three pieces of metal that I need. I got a little side job finishing some sheet rock. Had a cold couple times. Hectic since the last time I was here. I have made arrangements for the metal.
Have you been able to get any of that roof up, or are you just waiting on all of the metal?
Yeah.
Got it up.
It's
Oh, okay.
all, it's up, but 3 sheets.
Okay.
What does that mean when you say arrangements have been made?
A friend of mine's got it, and I went and purchased it. He just hasn't brought it to me yet.
Where's the friend located? And when did you purchase it? Have you already paid for it? What's the name of the friend? Okay. contact information for Mr. Smith? What's his address?
And the Taco Bell.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
We know this gentleman?
Yeah, I really do. Like, that's no joke. I've dealt with him before.
All right, and he has in his possession these 3 pieces of sheet metal. Purchased one weeks ago.
It's not at his house, it'll be in his storage bill.
And then that's all you have left to be done with your
Pieces
culvert.
and a couple of braces, but
Okay.
metal up before I can put the braces up.
Do you have any
That all
report?
they lack.
From what I could see, I was telling them earlier, going out Monday to do, a resite inspection, and like Tuesday, you could see that he was still working on it. Ladders were still up. I think you had somebody over on Monday helping you. I saw the truck out there. But you can see it from, behind the fence too, that it's,
95%.
I'd like to close the case. I hate to see your mother come in here every month. I really do. I'd like to make a motion to close the case, however, Codes will stay on top of it. That doesn't mean it can't come back.
Right, I understand.
You have to get it done. And if she deems that you're not getting it done, you'll come back and so great that time. But I'd make a motion we close the case, leave it to Codes to finish.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Close and revisit as needed.
Vice Chairperson Ezell. Commissioner Lance.
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Souter. Chairperson Davis.
Yes. Great, awesome. Can't wait to see it when it's all done. Awesome, thank you. Okay. Okay. The next item we have is 1581 Burns Avenue, update on progress from October 11th.
yes. So I've gone out a few times. I've been in contact with the property representative, property manager, Miss Tiffany. She's very adequate and on top of things, lets me know what's going on. They did get the fascia and soffit boards fixed like I asked them to, and then the only thing that was left was just the debris from the tenants in the backyard and the front yard. They are still there, however, she's been trying for 3 days now to get them to cooperate and get things cleaned up. Apparently they are going to let them break their lease and vacate, and she said that she is paying to have it all cleaned up by next week. So therefore, I ask that, if you will, to just close it out. Ultimately, they haven't given me a reason not to trust their word to get things done. They got the, wall fixed for me immediately. They've got the soffits and fascias fixed. That's the only thing that lacks. And it's nothing major. I've seen a lot worse, but it does need to be
These
picked up.
items were not part of the first complaint, correct? This was the house that was hit by a vehicle?
Yeah, it was. So it's the same items that were out there that I hit
Oh.
them with originally. But this is just on like the lower end of what I really needed done. But they've got all the major big things that I asked for, so.
So they fixed the damage. Is the structure safe and livable and habitable?
We allowed them to move
Right.
back in.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we
That's
released
right.
that,
Okay, I
yeah.
apologize, yep.
I just kept it in here so they could show me the repairs being made on what else I asked for, and they've succeeded that other than the trash and debris. But like I said, she said that she will have somebody out there next week to get the rest of it out, so.
Close it, obviously, you're gonna make sure that happens.
Yeah, I am. If anything, if for some reason they don't, I can always take it to the administrative hearing, so.
Okay, do we have any motions? Close.
Make a motion, we close the case, 1581 Burns Avenue.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close.
Chairperson Ezell? Commissioner Lance? Commissioner Sherrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Souter?
Yes.
Chairperson Davis?
Yes. Okay. Next item is 1029 South Seminole Drive. This is show cause hearing. Do we have anyone here from the address? 1029 South Seminole. Okay. This is the one back from August inspection. No, it's not. Hold on. Yes, it is. Okay.
It's the one Miss Meadows.
Charles Meadows. Have we heard anything from this owner?
I have not, however, from the previous housing commission and that order that I sent, I did get a signed green card showing satisfied service for that. And the previous attempts that I've had with her, like over the phone, you know, I told her it's very important for you to be here at these meetings, and
And this is the one that was the rental property kind of behind them and,
yeah, the one in front where that's that weird driveway.
okay.
In the previous meeting, you stated they'd moved everything out of the house, and I saw a lot of it sitting in the driveway. Is it still sitting there?
No, sir, they got all that removed. They got with, this guy that, I guess basically he hauls junk away for them. So he dropped off a dumpster for them to rent, and then they loaded everything. So the driveway's clear, there's nothing left from the house on the exterior. And it's been hauled away, but due to the interior of it, I did, you know, go post it that it was condemned. And I took pictures of that. Other than that, I have no knowledge. I've checked to see if building permits have been pulled. Nothing's been pulled in our OpenGov system. No phone calls have been made. I mean, I'm kind of stuck on what to do. Like, you get our orders, you know, sign for the letter, and I get that back, so.
Someone received it.
I had a note from last time that we needed a structural engineer to verify that it was sound.
Due to the floor, yes. However, I can't even get them to call me, much less just, you know,
Right,
walk
so-
in. I mean, we could go through that route if need be, but ultimately, I really wish that they would just show up. So,
That would probably be needed after the point if they decided to renovate the home.
Well, or inhabit it, period. I mean, the
Right.
toilet's sideways.
yeah, and the whole flooring system's gone. When your walls are separated from your floor, that's a big.
And we're sure that it's not being occupied at all?
I haven't seen any movement. And normally, looking at the pass along reports we get from the police department, you know, I haven't saw any calls being made up there.
So they're not responding to show cause. We don't know anything that's going on with the property, if they're doing anything with it. What options do we have here?
You've talked to the lady. I mean, we've got certified service.
I have the green card from the previous
Yeah.
order, but I did talk to her previously too with Holloway when I came to y'all's office.
And we have done an inspection on the interior.
Yes, I did it with Animal Services, which fire called us out previous. I couldn't get in there after the fact. Animal Services got called out there for a animal abuse neglect case. I went with them because I knew that it was a ordeal, and went in, and that's how I brought this to y'all.
So we got a call on an animal, but I didn't think anybody was living there.
It was before I actually went in there to do the inspection, there were people living in there. And to hear Miss Meadows say they're the ones that have destroyed this house. I'm not a structural engineer.
Yeah.
I'm not a GC, but there's no way. Like, this is due from just neglect and dilapidation.
What do you feel the condition of the of the structure? Does it pose a threat to the safety and welfare?
There's no flooring system. Like, if she were to just bypass us and not listen to anything or do anything with the city and take matters into her own hands, I would not feel comfortable putting my worst enemy in there. Like, the flooring system's bad. We had to seriously, like, one at a time, step over things just to try to get through because of how bad it is.
You all have, I mean, we've got service.
there's been by my notes, there's been no cleanup, no improvements, no efforts to make this property come back into compliance.
Just the cleanup on exterior.
If you all have the authority, you've got good service, you can move to demolish this and, put her on notice, post it for demolition. We'll get notice to her that this is gonna be set for demo. If she wants to show up in January, she can show cause as to why demolition shouldn't occur. Otherwise, it can proceed to demolition after January.
My fear is, I like that idea. My fear is that if we're not getting response from them, how do we know that they won't possibly let someone live in it, even though it's condemned? I mean, that's a piece of paper that's not, there's no way of knowing. And then that really puts a lot of people at risk.
Well, you have it posted, right, and condemned. So
There's a placard on it,
they would have to trespass that to move someone in.
essentially.
Right.
So at that
Right.
point, there's no doubt you tear it down.
She's had 4 months to come see us. I make a motion, we demolish the house. Maybe that'll get her attention and she can appeal it. She can come see the city council and explain why she couldn't show up for 4 months to tell us about it.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on 1029 South Seminole Drive.
Before the vote, she comes here in January with the condemned, or demolition order. What do we need to see from her to lift it?
Good question.
Progress? Something?
Gonna be hard to do during the holiday season for progress.
Maybe a representative of the general contractor or.
Something.
I wouldn't want her just to show up and say, I'm gonna do something.
Yeah,
Right, a permit
It's already
hold
told
or
me that,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, some kind of progress.
Or at least the application of.
Well, to answer that, I guess the correct way is, once this gets done and notice sent out, she only has 10 days to appeal it. If she refuses to appeal it, she can come January, February, I don't care.
okay. That answers my question. Thank you.
Is that not
Okay.
correct?
So the idea is, the motion is to demolish effective, once it becomes available to demolish. And then,
We're looking at how far out realistically,
I say with
the
it
holidays
being,
in January.
I don't want to extend it any more than we have to. However, with it being, the weekend before, or the week before Christmas, like, that's tight for really anybody. So maybe extend it out into January some, give her a little bit more, well, I don't want to say give her more leniency, but just a little more time because it is so crampacked right now.
Tell you what, I'll rescind my motion and pass this case to January 10th. I hope you talk to her before then. She needs to come in here.
I agree.
If we go with that motion, then, and she doesn't show up January 10th, then we can now just set it to be raised, right? Okay.
yeah, so what I'll do, prepare an order. If the motion by Commissioner Ezell passes, it would show cause is set for January 10 and she is responsible for coming in to demonstrate why demolition should not proceed thereafter. And if she fails to show, she's on notice that demolition is on the table. And at that point, you all can move to affirm for demolition. And then from there, she'll have her time period to appeal. If she wants to appeal, she'll have that 10-day period to appeal. And so the demolition at that point wouldn't occur until probably, give or take, 1st of February, somewhere around
Like
there.
that.
That gets us past the holidays.
It's past the holidays, and
Keeps it on the book and,
it gives her an opportunity. She can show cause. I can add in the order that, show cause needs to be with, including but not limited to, engineer representative appear on her behalf.
Can we know the value of this structure? I'm sorry, I know you're in the
I
middle.
mean, I can at least get you sort of a
The
at least
tax.
county is,
Because I'm trying to think how much leeway she's gonna even have financially. If it's even, if it's even,
That brings in another thought.
uh-oh.
We discussed in the last meeting, this property is attached to the property behind. Do we know if it's two separate plats, if it was ever, or did they just build a second home on the same piece of property?
I see the aerial view here.
I think it's one solid parcel. They did add separate addresses, I'm pretty sure. But I don't think it was ever split into two parcels, if that's the question.
And does that affect
The
The,
structure value.
right to demolish?
I would say no.
Okay.
No, it doesn't do anything to impact the ability to demolish. Let's just make sure we get the right house. But we're talking about, I see three structures on this property.
The middle one that you see, there's the front house, a middle structure, and then the back house in the back. That middle structure is an accessory structure. It's just a garage.
Okay. And which one are we talking, the front or the back one?
Front.
All right, so the front one. So, yeah, it wouldn't impact it. This Charles Meadows, is there any relation to Glenn, do we know? No clue, okay. To answer your question, Jerome Davis, I have a value, total value of county assessor's office values at $280,000. The structure being $216,000.
For that house? Or for both of them?
Well, that's true. It could be. Yeah, it says building value. It doesn't distinguish between the two.
Okay.
Although the tax card says that the current structure is 2,028 square feet, but
That house isn't
Yeah.
too bad.
these houses have,
Yeah, you're looking at maybe,
but they do look like they're all in the same parcel.
okay.
Which technically is allowed, because you only have to have 10,000 square feet above the house, so.
All right. So,
Okay.
if I understand it right, there'd be a show cause as to why this should not proceed to demolition, and the respondent needs to appear and bring on her behalf, including but not limited to engineer representative, provide some testimony as to what actions or efforts to improve the property will occur.
That's correct.
Looks like they have a home maintenance service sticker on their Frigidaire. Solutions.
Who seconded the motion?
Yes. Okay.
Ms. Holder, I'm sorry, have you spoken to anybody on this property? I've already.
Not since previously.
That's right, you got certified mail. but yes,
Yeah,
you did speak.
yes, sir. I got that.
And who was it specifically you spoke to?
When I called, it was Miss Meadows.
Thank
Mr. Meadows has passed away. I don't know if I told you that or not, so.
Charles, we
Yeah.
believe you passed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second. For,
I rescinded the first.
Yeah,
to the second motion.
Pass it to the January 10th.
Second, yes.
Vice Chairperson Ezell? Commissioner Lance? Commissioner Sherrill?
yes.
Commissioner Souter?
Yes.
Chairperson Davis?
Yes. Remember to look at that. Okay. Last item is 5729 State Line Road. This is show cause hearing for the owners. Are you guys, the owners? Okay. If y'all could please come up. If you could state your name and your number for the record, please.
Richard McElhaney, contractor, on the job.
Can you spell McElhaney for me?
McElhaney.
Okay. Okay, you are?
I'm represent the owner.
You're the owner, okay, and what is your name?
Abigail Sante.
Miguel what?
A-B, like Abigail, like Abigail. Name is S-O-N-T-Y.
Okay, awesome. Do you need their contact information?
Yeah, let's get her.
Spell the last name, what do you have?
Abigail? A-B-G-A-I-L? Abigail, last name, mm-hmm. Miguel, first name. No, you're fine.
It's Sante is his last name.
Dante, okay,
Yeah,
I'm so
so
sorry, that's why I was
Abigail.
like, what?
S-O-N-T-A-Y.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead, Tori, if you would get a telephone number or contact email.
I have one for Mr. McElhaney, but I'll get one for Mr. Son.
Is this
That's what I'm about to find out. This is owned by an LLC.
Yeah.
Tennessee One Properties LLC. Is that your LLC? California LLC. 25 Ridge Rock Drive, Signal Mountain. Is that your home?
So, he's saying he's a representative of the owner. He's not the owner. I think that
Representing.
owner is
Christina.
Lance and Christina Spencer, I think.
Oh, I remember that. All right. Mr. McElhaney, have you spoken to Ms. Spencer?
I have not spoken with Miss Spencer.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have contact information for Ms. Spencer other than 25 Ridge Rock Drive?
I think we have a phone number.
The phone number?
Yes.
I have updates as well I would like to give.
Well,
Him or?
No, he's just a representative.
I'm guessing it's Christina Spencer. She's listed as the registered agent. But that does not necessarily mean ownership.
Right.
But generally, it's a pretty good indication.
I thought there was a man's name on there also,
I did too. I thought
There
it
was
was
a-
her last time.
and they had two
Lance,
different, Lance.
Lance
Oh.
Spencer.
That's her husband.
And there was two addresses on Signal Mountain.
All right. give me
One
a
was
second.
1042
Give me just a second. I
Sunset.
can find,
The 25 one is the correct one.
Ridge
25
Rock.
Ridge Rock is her home, and then that property is owned. Pretty land up there. There is a Lance Spencer that owns that property, 25 Ridge Rock, with her. And that's all the information I have currently. And we've sent notices to both addresses.
I have an update whenever y'all are ready. I got a lot.
Oh, wait,
All right.
short circuit if you have any.
Sorry. Okay, are you
Y'all
ready?
ready?
Yes, we're
Okay.
ready.
All right, so we had the house condemned and boarded up. The next week, over the weekend, I got a phone call about this house that there was workers, and again, there was condemnation placards, and it was boarded up, and there's a stop work order. So I went out and we stopped them yet again. They were working on the foundation, they were already laying flooring, I don't even know what else was being done to the house. All without a permit at that time. So we stopped them and put another stop work order. Mr. McElhaney pulled a new permit, which is fine, but we're still missing a structural engineer's report. However, my residential inspector has spoken with the previous contractor who revoked his permit from that structure due to some issues that were going on. We were informed that he did get a structural engineer's letter originally when he was still over that house, and the structural engineer stated that it was a lost cause due to not having foundation at that time, etc. I've also been informed that the house on Signal Mountain is an address. However, he lives in California, so he's never down here. Or if he is down here, that's where he, resides.
He is the owner, Lance.
Yes.
Who revoked the permit? Who was the previous contractor? It was not Mr. McElhaney.
Oh, it's Brett,
I can tell you.
So just so that I can kind of get my head around this. So all the original permits and everything that were pulled, this has been going on for what, a couple of years? And nothing's really been done?
There were things getting done, but to my knowledge, what we were told is Mr. Spencer was not paying this contractor, so therefore he revoked that permit, but he was also, the owner, to my knowledge now, was utilizing this contractor's license to do more than what his scope of work was originally.
And this contractor's no longer working with?
That is correct.
With the LLC?
Correct.
And now we're just kind of starting all over?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't know who the structural engineer was that looked at it.
I don't. I can ask Danny tomorrow if he can give me the contact information for the previous contractor, and I can try to see if I can get some information out of him. I'm trying to pull it up to see who it was.
Do we have anything solid that the license and permit were misused?
He called and spoke with Danny and myself about it, inquiring about how to place a lien so that he could get money from. However, we don't place personal liens like that.
Oh, he was trying to get a mechanic's lien on it, what we call it, a materialman's lien is what we
Yes,
call it.
because
He had provided services and
wasn't
hadn't
being
gotten
paid.
paid.
Yes, so he revoked his.
Oh, the contractor himself.
Yeah.
So have we heard anything from the owner, from the LLC, Spencer? Mr. or Miss Spencer?
McElhaney's the
We-
only person I've talked to.
Okay, so and I could be saying this wrong, it almost looks like they may have gotten the communication and just started all over without contacting us. Maybe?
Pretty much.
I'm assuming, I apologize. How long have you been working on the house, or?
So, we just started on the house. The way I found out is that, I pulled a permit on it and the permit wouldn't go through. Right. And Danny, emailed me back or texted me back and said, that it had some issues with it and talked to Tori before we go any further and get that straightened out, and then I can finish both of them. So they also have some houses in Tennessee or in Chattanooga that we've worked on. So, and on those, it was the same way, right? The prior contractor revoked his permits. He came in, pulled new permits, new contractors, and finished the jobs.
How long have you been on this job?
On this one,
How long have you been contractor for them?
maybe, 3 months, I guess. Yes.
Who's paying you?
I'm going through NIO. Abigail.
Okay, what was the name you said?
NIO, it's Abigail though. It's-
Okay.
Okay.
And who's paying Monte?
I paid to him the other contractor, you understand, the other contractor, he started, but we checked, he no got permit, something electrical, he no got permit, something plumbing, something inside the house. They started, but no got permit, just we say, you don't pay, right, not permit show up, no permit. And,
I understand they had an issue with time. It was taking too long to do the jobs.
yeah,
So, and when I come in, I said, hey, well, we can do it in this amount of time, for this amount of money, and for the last 3 of them, they've worked out.
This construction, I got the money, I pay him whatever was he need, building, electrical, everything he needed. I paid to him.
So you went and did an estimate on what it would cost to fix this house back right?
Yes.
Do you have that estimate?
49, no, I do not have it on hand. 49,000 is the price I gave, though.
What's the house worth?
I will tell you, but before I lose track of my thoughts, JB Warren Construction is who originally had it. So Joel Warren is his name.
Were you aware there was a stop work order when you tried to pull a permit?
The stop work was, yes. Okay, so, it had it was saying that the reason why it was stop work order is because the prior contractor pulled his permit, and that's automatically a stop work. That's the same as that.
I understand. You felt like that when he revoked his permit, then there was a stop work order? I understand. And I can see that being a,
But also at that point too, we had the condemnation placard on there as well, and it was
Oh.
aborted.
okay, that was gonna be, was it possible those were gone by the time he got there because they were there when,
Because when I went out after that weekend that I got that phone call, I went out that Monday and there was people working on it. And that was already posted way back
and
in
the
November.
placards were still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if I understand what he just showed me, that particular house value is 48.9. Costs 49,000 to fix it. I believe per our codes, you have to tear it all the way down and start over. Am I not correct?
You are correct. It cannot exceed the total value of the structure. And it does.
So it has to be tore down and start back. So, I have to motion that one, if he's agreed to tear it.
Well, is,
We need-
property owner, as far as you know, it's okay to tear it down?
Oh, I'm sure not. What it is just, I'm sure I'll just get fired from this job, and then I would assume.
All right, I'm sorry, let me make sure I got this right. You've submitted a $49,000 quote to
Yes.
Mr. Sante,
Yes.
and Mr. Sante provided that quote to the owners?
It may have had some odd change, but it's 49,000.
But are they aware that the value is
Less.
under the cost for Mr.
It's the sum, yeah, 49, this is 49.
Yeah. So, under the code, and I've got it right here, it is, in any case where the dwelling house is over 50% damaged, decayed, or would cost to bring it up, it shall be demolished. I mean, there's not any wiggle room. This body doesn't have that. I mean, it has to pursuant to section 13-307, and that's actually borrowed from Tennessee state law. What is this? Oh, yeah. So, it really is not, I mean, it's out of your hands at this point because of the
Yeah.
cost of it. I mean, it costs more to repair than the building's worth. And so, what this body will do is pass, if I understand, the motion to demolish it. Excuse me, a motion to demolish, under this 13-307. Because of the monetary value based upon the Hamilton County Assessor's Office that has a $48,500 building value. With what I understand Mr. McElhaney is saying is his quote is 49,000.
Well, would that have been anything over 50%? So if you say anything that's over, you know,
If
say
you'd said 30
25.
If you'd have said
Yeah,
30,000.
it would've been too over, so it's no, yeah,
It's not even close.
yeah.
It's not close at all. So, yeah, that's what this body will take to
You had submitted the bid to the owner, correct, for the repairs of the 49,000, and they were okay with that. So,
it's really not up to them.
no, it's not. Well, my question is, we have had no contact with the LLC itself, just the representative?
Mr. Sante, do you manage any other houses for the Spencers? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they had a
I
lot.
think that's Mr. Souter, that's where I remember. I think I did a search for that last name, and that's where we found a bunch of properties.
Yeah, they have a bunch.
Okay, now I remember that. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
The question would be, do they want to demo it or?
So now you move to, you give them 30 days to do it, otherwise the city will take action.
Okay, I'll put that in the,
I make a motion, we demo the property at 5729 State Line Road. 30 days to decide whether you want to do it or you want us to do it.
before we second, I have a quick question. If they want to demo the property, they'll need to pull a permit,
Correct, a
correct? Will they
demolition.
be able to pull a permit considering the stop? Okay, I want to make sure.
We'll allow it.
Okay,
The only reason why the permit right now that they have active is on hold is because I wanted somebody here first.
okay, awesome.
So we can push that through, and then obviously they'll have to get a sewer cap, with WWTA, but other than that, that's the biggest thing.
Power disconnected, it's still
Yeah,
got power on.
that too, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Vice Chairperson Ezell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lance,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Souter,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Might want you to just build a whole brand new one.
Hey, there you go. That would be good. That'd be good for everybody. Awesome. All right, are there any questions or we're adjourned until January?
Well, I have something before y'all, but not for you guys. No, I didn't want to, I just want to interrupt you. It's a different house, but I just had to run it by them real quick.
Thank
Y'all
you.
are good though.
Thank
I'll
you.
send the order, to the address that I have, and then I can give you a call. Thank you. This wasn't on our agenda tonight, but I meant to have Melissa add it, but it was my fault. I forgot about it until last minute. 3607 Fountain Avenue, that's the one that we went to put into demolition. He appealed it with city council. City council upheld y'all's decision to have it demoed. I'm doing that tomorrow. However, I don't think that we actually officially put in an order to have it closed out of y'all's docket. So I just wanted to see if we could do that, because it'll be nothing tomorrow.
Awesome. I would like to make a motion to go ahead and close 3607 Fountain Avenue.
Second.
Thank you.
Vice Chairperson Ezell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lance,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Souter,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. If that is all. I noticed something today while I was out looking at these properties. All those shuttles.
On Anderson?
Nuga shuttles?
Southmore.
Yeah, that was the old Donna's rent-a-car parking
Yeah.
lot.
Okay. It struck odd whenever I drove by, I was like, what?
Yeah, because they have buses, they have
Oh.
shuttles, they've got,
Okay. It took me a second to figure out where I was.
My question for the attorney is, when they come back the next meeting with some,
After it's been condemned, after it's been demolished?
no, after it's been
Yeah.
eliminated, back for the next meeting, and they bring someone to purchase the property.
We've had that at
We've
times.
had that,
and-
yeah.
And it's really been the mercy of this board. What I think we've seen is maybe a lift without prejudice, where opportunity, a 30-day period, close, but that it had to close and a clear permit
show something that they're gonna either tear it down or repair it or.
Right, and where we've had it really, banks won't close on lending, financing for it. Certainly a demolition, but what's been the success when we've had someone really, when that's happened, if we call any situation?
Only one I can think about is the one that was on Oakdale that they weaseled their way out of. But
We did on Land Street too.
that one was a success. They actually, well, it's still in the works, but a good one, Connell, he sold that one again under the table, but they actually had it demolished themselves. So Oakdale, that's ditto. He did them dirty and sold it to them. Yeah.
That guy had to tear it down.
We ended up demolishing it.
No, he did. We didn't. Mhm.
Bought it and then made himself tear it down.
Was not given. So there's actually.
Probably not by that gentleman. Come in here and say, I have a buyer, and I'm selling it to him. Best to come up with a price of $1,000 to fix it, it's worth 75.
Hey, you guys too.
Everybody have a happy holiday.
You're welcome.